Gonzaga, they had four, Collins got fouled out, but, it was the same situation. It was all about, just playing smart, don't put your hands in there, get involved, just go straight up.
Isaiah, do you realize how big your shot is in the last seconds there, the last 20 seconds?
I wasn't even thinking about it at the time, I just know we just needed it.
And you guys led the nation in rebounding this year, but not tonight. How critical is rebounding for you?
It's the biggest thing. This is why Coach recruited me. I know my senior night, my last night in high school, my state championship game, I had 30 for 30. Coach always preached about that. And, he just wanted to see it. Fortunately, foul trouble and all this other stuff, kept me from being on the floor a lot. But it's just all about just getting out there, putting a body on somebody, just limit, their offensive rebounds, just get the ball. I feel like, Coach really stressed, rebounding, to get in our offense, getting the ball down and quick.
You'd had your struggles the past few games. Every single one of your teammates to a man has said they never doubted you for a moment. To have their support as you were struggling, trying to help the team in other ways. How important was that to have your guys behind you?
It's very important. I felt like everybody said they was always encouraged me. It was like, Isaiah, you're due for something. Last game, I was 1 for 12, but I didn't let it get to me anything because I was trying. It just didn't go in sometimes. And the biggest thing tonight, same thing. Shot, a few shots weren't going in, but all he did was try. And defensive end, I was just trying to be everywhere. Do whatever I can to help them out.
Do those struggles make this moment that much more special?
Definitely. Because as a senior, you don't want to go out, as what if I would have done better? What if I would have made that? I feel like regardless, if anything now, the whole team, coaches to managers to everybody, we're champs, and it's just all from just everybody just getting on each other, all the hard work we put in, and just being together.
Isaiah, to maintain your confidence when things have not been going well for you.
Sorry,
to maintain your confidence when things have not been going well for you. How did you do that?
It was, I got questioned, yesterday about my confidence. Was I frustrated? I said, no, I felt good. Shots won't go in. It's basketball. Sometimes shots don't go in, and I feel like my confidence never went down. I was just missing shots. And the biggest thing was, just to try, leave everything out there. I feel like that's what I was doing. When that happens, eventually good things will happen. So just kept, staying with that motto of, just keep trying.
How would you describe the toughness of this team? You guys, over the years since you've been here, your toughness has been
from my freshman year, everybody called this soft. To now, can't call it national champs soft. And I feel like, just for us to make that 180 and, just to tough it out some games, I feel like, we put ourselves in this position for, previous games, just learn from it. I feel like, Arkansas, Kentucky, all of them games that came down to the wire really helped us at this moment, it really showed us, defense won games.
When you came